Oh, we can
Hold
talk
on.
about it later. Yeah, don't worry
Okay.
about it.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Joe from BMT and MOT coming at you again with an Sunday morning congregational talk where brothers can come sit down, speak on things that we need to talk about, and actually start pushing for things that we demand of ourselves, society, and those among us. We pass on to you this four-part series, with part one over to MOT. So he'll give you a walkthrough on a part of a series called A Guide to a New You. Passing over to MOT. You brothers, stay tuned.
All right, it's 2019, and the focus of the black man is just underway. We're only 5 days in, and or 6 days in at this point, and we need to be able to stay focused on the things that we need to be focusing on from here on out. I was talking to somebody the other day, and it was like, well, if it's going to be the year of the black man, how is these people going to be able to do something without a sort of actionable plan that they can be able to easily follow, so that way they can be able to be better people? And I'm like, huh, you know what I'll do? I'll sit down and I'll write out a plan of some of the things that you need to start doing and to start implementing into your life immediately. So that way you can be able to be on this path to focus on yourself. You have to understand that focusing on yourself, that there is a lot of people who's going to be able to try to jerk you off of that path, because the current state of you is in service to everyone else on the planet but you. And at some point in time, you need to recognize that they don't love you. They love your disheveled state and how much that you actually give to them, even though they haven't really earned it all themselves. So, in this first part, we're going to talk about four key things that you need to do. And in each one of these steps, there are going to be four or more things that I'm going to want you to actually um, follow or even implement in your life. So, the first thing you need to do, first and foremost, you really need to reevaluate your life and be completely honest with where you are. I know how it may sound, but you need to reevaluate and go back as far as you possibly can with a notepad and book about all your experiences and all those situations. And I want you to break it down into 4 year increments. I want you to be able to go back as far as you could and look at the things that you were doing then. It's okay if the answer is nothing. It's just that you need to be completely honest about what you were doing and what you was concentrating on during that time. What type of books you were reading, what type of activities that you was into, what type of hobbies did you have, what type of people did you hang around, what type of decisions that you make, good or bad, what's some of the best decisions you ever made, what's some of the worst decisions that you ever made. The reason why you do this is so that way you can be able to be always thinking about the future plans that you're making, good, bad, or indifferent. You can always be working in a measured state rather than trying to act on every stimuli that come your way. You need to be able to just sit back and evaluate the situation, because sometimes the best response is going to be no response compared to what's going on. The second step, which goes along with the first step, is you have to value peace of mind as the highest principle for yourself. Colin Powell always says there is no battle plan that survives first contact with the enemy. And Mike Tyson said everybody got a plan until they get hit in the mouth. Both of those things are true. But if you are constantly putting yourself on the war footing, you're never going to be able to think things through whenever they do happen. Let's say you go through a traumatic situation that you constantly have going on at work, sometimes even in a relationship and everywhere else. But if you don't have peace at home, how would you be able to sit down and plan your way through these obstacles that are in your way, or just leave altogether? Because see, we as black men, we're always surrounded by a whole bunch of noise, constantly, 24 hours a day. Facebook, all that stuff. Sometimes, man, you just have to turn all that stuff off, and you have to value silence and peace, so that way you can be able to make plans for yourself. Because the more you start focusing on yourself, the more you're going to want to stay focused on yourself once you start seeing these results of focusing on the things that you actually need to. Because none of this stuff is ever going to get done from the actual place of going from one war field to another war field to another war field. You know, you get this thing what they call war fatigue, and you can't really function as a person. You know, you have to have some level of off time, some actual level of peace in your life, so that way you can make all this other stuff work. The third thing you need to know, you already have value everywhere else except for currently where you are. You do. Every nationality, everywhere that I've ever went while broke, except for the United States and different parts of it, I had value everywhere. I didn't have to prove myself or anything. They just know that overall that we were decent people at day's end, and that we didn't need to engage in any of the nonsense that would turn us into something that is unrecognizable as people. You need to understand that you need to let go all of this other stuff that you add to yourself to try to make yourself appeal towards people who you don't want to be around long term. Because once you start attaching these things to yourself, you lose value. And then you don't really have sense enough to really get out of those circumstances when you really need to in an appropriate period of time. And then when you do, people know you've changed. They can see the look on your face, they see the things that you pay attention to. But I'm just telling you, you need to stay being exactly who you are. Don't try to do all this other stuff that people are doing to get access to the ridiculous and the temporary. Because the access to the ridiculous and the temporary is going to ruin and destroy your life at some point. Even though they don't tell you that, it's the fact that you would even pursue that in the first place and not stand on some type of principle. It's the reason why you lose value. And the fourth and final thing that I'm going to end each one of these parts of this four-part series with, you need to understand that constant change is a continual process, not a destination. You have to snap out of this matriarchal thinking by just thinking that you're going to accomplish one thing and then boom, your whole life is going to be together. I mean, if it was that was the case, everybody would be on this path. But you have to understand that the things that you value today are not going to be the things that you value tomorrow. I'm saying that because of you're going to be on a new path. You're going to meet new and different people. You're going to be putting yourself in different spaces, in different places, and all these things are going to be new to you. But as long as you act with the self of measured principle and decency, no, you'll be accepted generally everywhere you go. And if the people generally can't accept you as a decent person, then you need to get away from those people because those are not your people. I understand relatives and all the kind of stuff. You know, you didn't get to choose those people to be around. They were already there when you showed up. When you get the opportunity and the chance to choose your people for yourself, who benefits you, who can keep you at a state of peace and who can act with the level of principle so that way everyone can win. And there's going to be people who fall in and out of your life, and that needs to be just fine, man. Because people are going to have different states that they're going to be in too. And you have to realize, man, that if you're by yourself doing the right thing, that is just something that is going to have to be enough for right now for you. Because you're not going to be there forever. You're not going to be down forever. When I was growing up in Mississippi, man, I couldn't wait for my season to be here. I couldn't wait for my season to be here, man. The only thing I ever thought about, the only thing I ever prepared for in life is what am I going to do once I do get there? And yeah, I did fail a whole bunch of times. Why? I didn't stand on the principles that I was creating. I thought that things were good enough, and then all of a sudden I lost it in an instant, twice before I learned the lesson that why are you doing this? Why are you trying to help certain groups of people? Why are you trying to do any of this? But even though I constantly changed, I didn't constantly change the people who I was around. And I kept trying to reconcile my old and new self, and it never worked out. Some people fail a couple of times and they just give up all the way. But I needed those two failures so that way I could be the dude who you are listening to now. So there's nothing wrong with these people falling in and out of your life. You just need to make sure that you have a plan and that you're constantly sticking to it. Because sticking to your plan is what's going to save you. Putting that plan down and acting on stimuli within the work environment or business environment, that's what's going to lead you astray because you're not following a plan, you're following stimuli. So that's all I got, Joe.
Again, again, brothers, we have a four-part series. This is one of the four-part series that is going to be given to you by MOT on the Black Men's Congregation. We do thank you guys for joining. If you have any questions, please send it to the email of the Black Men Congregation, as well as check out Man of Tomorrow or BMT Black Male Talk, um, where we'll give you the latest talks, topics, views, and points of views. If you have any questions, please contact us or put in. If you're in the Black Men's Congregation, you have direct access, whereas to you can um, put in your question in the discussion, and it will be answered within a timely manner. We also are trying to do things where we can set up brothers for consultation, to be able to talk with brothers from the congregation on different topics and different things. We have talked to many brothers and have seen things that they have practiced or have put into their life, things that we have told them have worked into their favor. We do not try to sell you a dream, but tell you the instructions for you to work towards your dream. The problem with that, the problem with that is that a lot of black men, you're not trying to. You need to take the opportunities that are in front of you. Take the opportunities that are in front of you. You may start off with a tent, but if you build up that tent, it become a caravan. A caravan can become a town. A town can become a city. But you got to have the drive or the initiative to actually push forward for those type of things. Again, there is a way to building you a new you. We've already covered over different stuff from the promiscuity of the outbreaks to the incidents that's going on with women want to know why aren't black men rolling over for women fighting inside fast food restaurants and stuff. There's a lot of stuff that black men, you are being called into question. You are being called into question. But the thing about it is, you need to stop answering to what people call you to be, but what you call yourself that you need to be. Again, we want you to be successful. We want you to be thriving. Go over to Man of Tomorrow's channel. Again, I will put that in the description below. Actually, I'll do you one better. I'll grab it for you right now. We're also going to start putting, make sure his channel gets out so that way some of you guys can see that. You already know of my channel, Black Male Talk. Please check out his stuff. He puts out a lot of good information for you guys, you know, and that way we need more talk. We need more topics. We need more to be more situationally aware of our surroundings. Nobody is going to hand you it in a silver platter. Not that I know of. However, you can change all that. You can redefine yourself. Don't let the world define you, black men. That's the problem. Everybody's been defining you. Why are you not trying to define yourself? Again, check the chat. The link to Man of Tomorrow is there. You already know. If you want to change yourself, you have to be the change you want to see, not the other way around. I sat there and I listened to stuff, a lot of things. I know a lot of y'all have been messaging me, talking to me, BMP. When are you going to cover R. Kelly? When are you going to cover R. Kelly? When are you going to cover? Listen, I got so much stuff coming down the doggone chute and dropping out of the heavens on me. I'm like, oh my God, it ain't one thing, it's another thing. I promise you, I will cover R. Kelly. I promise you, I will cover R. Kelly. Sundays is just one of my busiest days, but I will cover it. Okay. Again, also, I ask you, brothers, please stop emailing me telling me who I can and can't work with. I'm trying to be very politically nice today. Do not email me telling me who I should work with or I should not work with, who I should not do a show with. I am letting you know right now. If you do that again, I will start outing you guys. You black men do not control my network. You do not fund me. You do not build up. You do not build each other up like you should, and you're not building us up like you could. We're asking you, stop. Understand that. You guys, we need to start building up our brand the way we see fit to help us move forward. That's all I got to say. Okay? But I'm going to tell y'all again before I close this, don't ever tell me who I can and can't work with. Ever again. You black men, you do what you need to do to build your network to be successful. All right, MOT, anything you want to say before we go?
No, that's it, man. It's just that it's 2019, man. It's the year of the black male focus. And what we're going to be focused on is going to be something that you are not going to hear anywhere else on YouTube. So I just want y'all to be able to follow this plans and lead your way out of this darkness. Because I'm also doing an explosive series called Stay Away from People with the Community Mindset.
Mm.
So the most dangerous people on the planet. So, I'm gonna be dropping that on my channel, but I'm almost done with it because it's a lot of stuff in a hard hitting, action packed thing because people need to understand that when you start talking this community nonsense and you haven't built a community, that should call into question every single thing that you're talking about and every single
Mm-hmm.
thing that you plan on doing. So I'm gonna break it down psychologically and everything else about why you need to stay away from these people and why it's a good idea for you to build your own community first before you start talking this community talk. Because all these say the community people, they all have the same thing in common, which is the fact that they've given up on trying. so so that's what we're gonna talk about. I'm also doing actually content on my channel. Thank y'all for coming out, the congregation. So I'm gonna be growing my channel and just start talking about things that that are important. because they're nowhere. They're nowhere in media. They're nowhere on most places on YouTube. You have to piece things together. But perhaps it's just time that we can just do that and build a website and a community around that, because you need to stop being shamed into doing things that are not for your favor, man. Everybody else have all types of focus on themselves, but nobody has focus on you. There's no programs out there specifically to help you. There's no women out there who really care about you like that. Well, they act like they care right now because they need something out of you. But overall, you don't need to really need to be around these people. So that's all I got, Joe. So I'm gonna be uploading this content to my channel that I've already done because I found a good converter that you gave me. So I'm gonna start going through these things and buying a sound editor so that way I could cut out the 5 or 10 minute pieces and just post those rather than all the stuff that I say and it didn't get me flagged. So that's it, man. Joe, you still there? That's the thing about
I don't even notice when I be muting myself. I ain't gonna lie, guys. Listen, I don't even know. Like I be muting myself, and I be trying to do like usually during the congregation, I let MOT just do it, and I just come in and just do my little polishing into it. But I be so in the back just doing the admin stuff. Yeah, I'll be like, yo, man. Sometimes I'll be like, don't give me the mic. Just let me just do the admin and get done everything we need to get done. You know what I'm saying? We put in a lot of work for you, brothers. You know what I mean? We've been pretty successful um with helping the congregation grow, as well as our networks grow. I truly hope you brothers do enjoy the stuff and the things that me and MOT cover. I believe that we are definitely the most exclusive dynamic duo that are covering things that most YouTubers will not cover, especially black YouTubers. We're covering over stuff, and we're not here to sell you anything, but actually show you and tell you how you can be successful black men. We have the only Facebook group that is exclusively for black men. That way, and not just any old black man, successful black men. If we really showed y'all how many people try to actually come into the congregation, how many people have been trying to get in and do stuff, we're very protective of you brothers. We are very protective of y'all and our brands and this brand, because we understand now that people are starting to see the growth, they want it now. They want in. They want us to deviate from what we're doing and what we're putting together for y'all. We stay up late nights for 2 to 3 hours working on this. We got a lot of things in store in 2019. Like we just been working. We've been pushing each other's stuff, doing the research, building the team, cutting people off from different stuff, and then reconfiguring it. But this is how business works. In between us, what doing our actual jobs, our actual platforms, and we still do this too. So we haven't really rested. We haven't. But I promise you, we are going to give y'all 120% to the point where, as y'all watch this thing grow, believe me, someday, soon, doesn't matter what, you will not be able to go around without knowing the Black Men congregation. I can promise you that. I can promise you that. We're becoming a very strong network. We have the congregation, Man of Tomorrow, BMT, Black Male Talk, BMT2 Unfiltered. We also have Nagone, Edward Anderson. We have a lot of brothers who are working hard diligently to actually start to put their content into work. profit of thought, and more to come. I ain't got time to name every goddamn brother. I ain't gonna do that. It's Sunday. I need a rest. But I want you brothers to know we got a lot of brothers in the field working. You can pick up your doggone pick, your hoe, and your doggone tools. Come on the field and work. And when we eat, we all eat together. If not, sit your ass off to the side of the fence. Don't come on our property. This is the Black Men's Congregation. You guys have a good day. Take care. All right. Peace.